Don't think I can't give Krishna. He addressed him very perfectly. Lord Krishna waved his hand and created 3 mountains of gold. He said, give it away. He sat there with his towel spread before him, And whoever passed, he took out one nugget of stone of gold. Small pebbles, big pieces of gold. And 1,000 years later, Lord Krishna came and there was no difference because these things, how much can you give out of a mountain? He said, Duryodhana, you are still here? He said, Lord, he said, Krishna, you are a crook. Who can give away such a thing? He said, you accept you can't do it? He said, yes, I accept. He said, Karna, come here. Give away these 3 mountains of gold. Karna sat down. 3 Brahmins came. He said, one for you, one for you, one for you, and got up. And walked away happily. Burden, removed from his shoulders. And Krishna said, you see, Duryodhana, it is not so easy to give. You received 3 mountains of gold, but you could not give them away because the heart was missing. So to give, you need a heart. To receive, you need only a mind. And it is generally corrupt, it is generally self-centered. It has no other orientation, but only self-orientation. So never think with your head, should I give or not? If the heart says give all, you give all and walk out. The other day I was surprised to read about the great Bade Ghulam Ali Khan, It seems he gave and gave and gave. And I was amazed to know he had actually gone to Pakistan, preferring to live there. But there people opposed his singing about Indian gods, Indian bhajans. So he came back to Bombay and re-entered India. And he had no money. So his devotees, his aficionados, the lovers of his music, they got together and collected 20,000 rupees in those days and gave it to him, who put it in his pocket. After his concert that day, somebody came and was weeping, He said, I have no money even for my food. He just put his hand into his pocket and gave all the 20,000 rupees. Count not before you give. How much does this beggar have? 2 rupees. Oh, he looks more poor, give him 20 rupees. We have no right to decide on what another man needs. We have only a right to decide that I must reduce my needs so that I can give with others. Live simply and in tune with nature. That's one of the maxims. If you obey this, you can give and give and give. The cup will be eternally replenished. I shall not want. Quoting from the Bible. See? Babuji did not explicitly or implicitly praise charity. He did not believe in charity. He believed in fulfilling the needs of people. He said, if you find a beggar, don't refuse him, but feed him. That's what he needs first. But that's a need to which he will attend last, if at all, because he will waste his money on drink. Because that is a solace, something to give you solace for the nonce until you get another 8 and a bit somewhere. So, food is the most cherished object of self-sacrifice. So they say, feed. And another secret he said was, if you give a pandit or a priest who comes to do the puja, if you usually give 2 rupees, one day you give him 10 rupees, he'll be happy. But before he leaves your house, he'll think you could as well have given me 20 rupees. No satisfaction. If a rich man gives him 100 rupees, he'll say, look at this mansion, and he gives me 100 rupees. But if you feed him, he'll say, please, no more. So that is the merit of feeding. So that is why in India we are so familiar with the idea of poor feeding. But Babuji also emphasized what I think Lao Tse taught, If you give a man a fish, you feed him once. If you teach him to fish, you enable him to feed himself all his life. So Babuji insisted that while we must help others, we must also teach them how to help themselves. So our sadhana, our practice says, you have to have 3 sittings at least when you join the system. Subsequently, you have to meditate every morning and do whatever is prescribed as a daily ritual. But Sundays you must come for general satsang. Sundays you have to come for general satsang. Somebody asked him why. He said, because whoever is there in satsang, I see them like in a television screen, you know. They're always before me. If they don't come there, I don't see them. If I don't see them, I may forget to include them in my transmission. So when we don't go to satsang, it is not just the merit or value of that satsang that we lose. We may lose every day more and more of it because he doesn't see us anymore. What of major functions when we have 4 days, 2 sittings every day? He said every sitting is important because each sitting adds to the effect of the previous one, you know. And if you miss one, you have missed it. The chain is broken and you start again all over. So satsang at bandaras, as we call them, or annual functions, birthdays, etc., is very important. Satsang and presence at every sitting is very important. So you see how Sahaj Marg is a very clean, uncomplicated system. There are no complications. The 10 maxims are all positive, tell you what to do. They don't speak of what you must not do. Therefore, we commonly say there are no do's and don'ts in Sahaj Marg. The do's are natural. Arise before sunrise and dawn. This is a natural thing. Human beings have a natural tendency to arise like that. But with modern civilization, rooms, bedrooms, curtains, carpets, to deaden sound, to prevent the sunlight at sunrise from coming in and waking us up. You know what wakes us up really is the actinic rays of light which make us open our eyes. You understand? Not alarms. Because when you have an alarm, you see in every American movie, they push it off or put the pillow over it if they don't know where to press it. Alarms only shall make us annoyed and permit us to sleep even longer. I have never had an alarm in my life. It is a question of willpower. When you make up your will at night that I shall wake up at 5, not I shall try to wake up at 5. The mind says, aha, you will try. Let me see how you try. You say, I will wake up tomorrow at 5. You will find you are awake at 5 minutes to 5. Absolutely every time. I have had sometimes to go to the airport at 2 o'clock. I can wake up at 1:55 by myself. Because I am the master of my mind, which is what Babuji said. He said, when you use the mind to train the mind, that which has been your master so far, because man is slave of his mind, you become the master of your mind. This is the essence of spirituality. So 45 plus 23, 68.